Hello my friends, welcome to this channel. In this video we're going to talk about mold on the soil of our plants. I'm Anna, I help you grow beautiful and healthy plants, and in this video I want to address some of the comments that people wrote under my videos, especially in winter time. So this is what you can have on the soil of your plants, and you can see that it's definitely mold. So let's think about, is this harmful for us humans, for plants, for the soil, for the environment in general? Well, mold is a fungus, and fungus exists in the nature, right? So it's totally normal reaction to overwatering or in general humid conditions. So this is a gasteria, this is a succulent plant, and if we have mold, especially on the soil of our succulent plants, it means that most probably we have overwatered it, because as you may know, you need to let the soil completely dry before the next watering if you grow succulents. This may be not the case for other plants that like to stay humid all the time, but in general, any plant that you have, if you see that there's mold just like this on the surface of the soil, it may be a sign that you have overwatered it. Well, now in this case it's a succulent, and this can be even dangerous for this plant, because if it's overwatered, it means it's staying in very wet soil, which is not good for succulents. The roots may rot and we will lose the plant. But in general, mold on the surface of the soil of our plant is not harmful for us, but of course it's not pleasant. When we look at it, we already start to worry a little bit. What shall we do? In any case, please do not use pesticides, do not use any chemicals. You don't really need to do it. Let's talk about the reasons. Well, reason number one is overwatering, but also there may be other reasons that you may have this kind of mold on the plants, on the surface of the soil of the plants, not on the plants, because that's totally different. I will tell you the difference in a second. But if you have mold on the surface of the soil, number one, you may have overwatered your plant. Number two, it may be cold in your place, and maybe if you will move the plant to a warmer place, you will see that the fungus will disappear, the mold will disappear. And number three, maybe where you have the plant, you don't have enough sunlight, and this also kind of relates to the fact that maybe it's cold. If you don't have that much sunlight, the temperature is lower, so everything is connected. So if you move the plant into a place that is warmer, you have more sunlight, there will no place for the mold. Also, if that's not the case, if the plant grows in a warm place, if the plant grows in a very bright place, but you still have the mold on the surface of the soil of your plant, maybe your plant doesn't have that much airflow. Maybe the room in general, you have closed windows and you don't have air ventilation, good air ventilation. It can even be the pot. If your pot doesn't have drainage holes, this can also create this kind of stagnant environment for the air. There's no airflow, there's no air ventilation. You water a lot, the temperatures are low, everything is connected, and you can have mold. So what to do in this case? Well, in this case, you can either just move your plant to a place where it's warmer and brighter, and then you will see the difference. At the same time, when you move the plant, also if you don't move in general, you can just scrape off the top level, the top layer of the soil, and replace it with fresh soil. Also at the same time, reduce the watering a little bit, especially if you have, just like me, succulent. And now let's talk about mold on the plant. So all this time we were discussing mold on the surface of the soil. That's totally different if you have mold on the surface of the soil or if you have it on the plant leaves, stems, flowers directly. In this case, that's a totally different story, and in this case you do need to have some fungicides or fungicides and basically treat your plant in this case, because this is a totally different disease for the plant, and you can definitely lose the plant. It can also spread on other plants. But if it's on the soil, it's absolutely not harmful, not for us, not for plants. Again, just scrape it off, replace with fresh soil, reduce watering, put the plant in a warm and bright place, and this should solve the problem. To be honest, if you see this and you don't do anything else, with the time, when the conditions change, when you reduce the watering, the mold will go away just by itself. You can just scrape it like this with your finger it will be gone. That's it. Also, it depends on the type of soil, to be honest, because if you have bark in there, if you have humus, if you have basically nutritious soil, and also bark is of course very prone to rotting or having mold on it. Of course, here I have bark, and this is definitely not the right soil for the succulents, because here I had to plant these small babies somewhere, and I didn't have succulent soil, so I planted them just in any soil that I have, and it happened to be with bark. Of course, definitely this soil is not the right one for this, so that's another reason to pick the right type of potting mix of soil for your plants. Still, it's not dangerous at this stage, because I will just reduce the watering. The plant, I've already moved it to a brighter place, because you can see that it's not even growing perfectly. These were basically pups from my other plant, and I had to plant them urgently. If you would like to have some babies of this plant, please let me know. If you're in Europe, I can definitely send you for free. And let me know if you have any questions, any comments, how you fight mold or what you do in that case. And if you have any experience that you can share with us, always please write it in the comments, because other people also read and learn from all of us. And of course, if you like the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, because this helps us to reach more people on YouTube who may like to grow healthy houseplants. And I will see you in the next one. Stay patient about plants.